Lo, I return from the ether to bring to you something which I didn't really think I would sort of have to be doing, which is another monthly catch-up video, like all those ones I did in the summer. Sorry about that. I have had a lot of things to be doing. I'm surprised I found the time to be making this, but I think you will also see the other reason as to why I haven't really been doing any videos for a good few weeks, and just the fact that there's been nothing around and I really don't have anything to show you in those sort of few weeks. So I'm just gonna get on and show you what little there is. First up, from Toys R Us, we have what can only be described, I'm sorry, as a cack. It's one of the blind bag Microns. I think this one is called Gob. It's a Cobra, which I suppose, you know, he's jointed up, but I'm surprised he's sort of staying like this, because all the joints are really loose, and this thing is just not worth £2.50. There's no paint on it whatsoever, and the only bit of colour you've got is this funny sort of spark crystally bit. It's really bad, I've got to say. I'm glad I got this one, because out of all of them I think this is probably the best one to my mind. The gecko sort of things make weird hatchets, and they're just like completely flat, and the Optimus and Bumblebee guns just don't do it for me. It's like Target Troids all over again. It's just, why would you have a gun that turns into a robot that looks like you? I just don't understand. Why have target masters of the actual characters? It makes no sense whatsoever, and I just really don't like that. And I'm mildly happy that I got a Cobra that turns into some sort of chainsaw fork. I don't know what this is, but it sort of looks okay if you put it on like Knockout or Shockwave as some sort of hideous instrument of torture, so it's good for that, I guess. I also find it fits quite well with what is my latest purchase, only the other day. Going around the shopping centre and having a look in John Lewis at their strange toy section, and lo and behold, but what did we uncover? A Viacon here, yes. I must point out that John bought him for me, which was a nice gesture considering I have bought him robots before. And yes, I'm now proud owner of a Viacon, which is obviously very nice, although there are a few sort of little griping issues. Not really, but I don't like the way his arms are done. I mean, they're flat and you've got these weird joints that go that way, and it's all for transformation, and they fold out in a way that is a bit too complex, really. It just doesn't really need to do that, and it just means his elbows are all weird and his arms are really thin and flat. But apart from that, it's just really nice. Slick, and well, it's not black, it's really dark purple. I wish it looked a bit more purple, but it's just nice. It's very nice, and I think the little solid black chainsaw works quite well with him, so he's got a Micron now. Woohoo! Of course, the transformation is just mind-blowing when you flip the entire top of the car into his legs, and it's just like, excuse me? But with the way all that works, they could have put a waist swivel in there. I mean, look at all that. Look at all that waist. Needs to do some swiveling. And then you've got his knees that don't really seem to bend as far as, well, I would like anyway. I mean, when he's got legs as big and long and as nice as this, I want them to bend more than 90 degrees. I've seen a mod you can do. I might have to do it if I can get some sort of cutting implement for plastic, but I don't really want to cack it up. In case you're wondering, I haven't really decided upon a name for him. Barry has been suggested, and I think that it might end up being what he's called. I've just sort of been trying to think of a proper Transformers name. Maybe some obscure road-faring Decepticon from G1, like Road Grabber or something, that I can call him, and then imagine that this guy's the original, and all the others were clones of him, but they don't know that, and everyone treats him as just another Vehicon when he was original and unique at one point in time. And now he's just a face in the crowd. Or a faceplate in the crowd. So there you have it. That is really all the plastic I have got in November. It's not great, but I'm not really that bothered. Money has started to go down a bit after the amounts I was spending beforehand. I was a fool to think that that wouldn't happen, and I just haven't really been able to afford any new bots. And it's getting close to Christmas, so I'm just going to sort of leave them and put them on my Christmas list, any that I'm still looking at. But to be honest, that's not a lot. I don't think my Christmas list is going to have a lot of bots on it this year. Bit of a shame, but maybe I can pluck some money from somewhere and go and order all those lovely, lovely Wave 3 Fall of Cybertron figures that they have on Kapow, which I've been looking at like, perhaps. So I suppose the last thing to mention is the fact that I've got Volume 2 of More Than Meets the Eye. Oh look, I'm on. Oh. Because I've now realised that I will buy all of these trade paperbacks, even though I will have all the comics separately, just because it is so good and it's so nice to just get it in a format like this where you just flick through. These are really nice editions, and I mean this one hasn't even got any extra stuff in the back apart from like the covers, but it's just still really nice to have, and I can't wait for the day when I've got a bookshelf full of volumes of More Than Meets the Eye. I also finally managed to pick up the More Than Meets the Eye annual, which was an interesting story. Bit of a shame about the art, some of it was quite erroneous in places, let's say, but it was an interesting tale. It's nice that it's something that's referenced in like the run of the issues, but it's not a story that's really integral to the overall arching saga of it. I especially enjoyed the sort of explorations of the Autobots' sort of religious sort of views, all different stories about Primus and all the other gods that are introduced, well not really introduced here, they're mentioned like everywhere else, Adaptus and that lot, but you get a bit of more of a story as to behind who they are. It's just nice to go down a route with some sort of different concepts now and then, and I must admit that I have atheist friends who are a bit like Ratchet, and is it worrying that I found myself sort of relating to Drift's point of view a bit? So I guess that's your lot for this week. Yeah, it's not been a lot really, but I just needed to get in front of the camera again for a little while. Of course I still need to finish the question and answer video, and it's raw gold. It's like, how many weeks overdue now? Is it like 10 or something? I'm really, really annoyed about that, and I apologise to everyone. Your questions will be answered. Eventually. Sometime. I really hope sometime soon. You'd like that, wouldn't you? Ciao for now. Bar's closed, boys!